Hi, and welcome to Snack Size Videos. Today our topic is going to be about kids who won't sit still. You know them, the squirmy Sallys and the antsy Adams, always ready to move around. And it seems particularly true when you're trying to keep things quiet and maybe get a point across to them. So what can you do with those wiggly kids who just really struggle with sitting still? Here's a few points for you. The first thing is that some kids really need to move in order for their brains to engage. So one thing that you might want to do is just have something handy for them to touch or feel or move around with their hands. Something that's fairly quiet though. So maybe Legos, a few Legos, or a Rubik's Cube, or maybe some clay to squeeze. Just something that kind of helps them to move while they're engaging their brain. Another thing to help your squirmy kids is to provide a lot of variety in your teaching methods. You may have a quiet listening time, but then you need to shake it up a couple minutes later with maybe a, hey, let's do some jumping jacks, or let's get out our scissors and crayon and do this kind of activity. So if you provide them with a variety of things, it keeps things moving, it keeps them attentive, and it allows them to get some movement into their learning. Another thing to do is, if their squirming is not terribly distracting, just ignore it. I don't think kids really appreciate having, every time they move around, having someone comment on it or asking them to stop. I mean, we all have times when we do things that are a little bit challenging, and we would like a little bit of grace in our lives, so let's try to extend a little grace to other people as well. If they're being crazy distracting, then of course you have to stop it and maybe draw attention to the fact that they need to be a little bit more quiet, but extend grace where you can. And finally, one thing that you could do with these kids is just negotiate. Say, hey, you two, I noticed that you really like to sit together, but if you're going to be really squirmy, we're not going to be able to do that. I need you to sit still for the next 5 minutes, and if you can do that while you're sitting together, terrific. But I'm really going to need your eyes on me during this time. So talk to them about what your expectations are, negotiate how it's going to go, and then follow through. And hopefully these are some tips that'll help you with those wiggly kids in your lives and in your class. And that's your latest tip for raising kids in Christ.